Vincentian Mission Corps is a post-grad year-long service program for single men and women aged 22 to 30. The goal of the program is to allow young adults to take a year and, while serving others, learn about themselves and learn about what it is they want out of life.
Well, I always knew when I was going through high school that I wanted to do a year of service. I actually flew down to St. Louis to check out the program and visit a friend who was doing it. And I fell in love with it, and so I decided to apply and see what happens.
A year of service is something where you can take a step back and think about what your priorities really are, and taking time to serve and focus on that.
L'Arche is a community for adults with and without developmental disabilities that share life together and they live together. Hey Kira, can you show me the upstairs in your bedroom and then we can fold your laundry together? I've made some wonderful friends that I never would have chosen to be friends with if it wasn't for God putting them in front of me. And you've been working there for how many years? 10 years? More than 10 years? When you come to the home, you'll see a ton of joy. That's the first thing I see anyway. And that was the first thing I experienced when I first came to L'Arche, was the amount of joy that is shared. We do things together. Nobody does things on their own. I do anything from like a hygiene need to a medical need to just sharing life. We volunteer together. And it's just whatever they need to make it a good day. The ministry portion of VMC is so important because it is where you find God. I mean, you find God in community in so many ways, but being able to serve alongside people who are vulnerable helps you to be vulnerable and helps you to then live in community and be better in community.
At the heart of it, being a Vincentian is about loving each other. So it's about loving each other even when it's hard.
It's intentional living together, cooking together, making decisions together, making sacrifices together.
I think community is great. It's definitely more intentional than having roommates or being in a dorm or just having friends, but it's a really welcoming environment, and it's a very friendly environment.
Our volunteers are going to see some of the really great parts of St. Louis. It's a great place to volunteer because there's so many free things to do here.
There's so much to do and see. It's a very seasonal city, so there's something going on every different season, whether it's fall, winter, spring, dead heat of summer. There's always something you can do, which is awesome.
And it's got a really good young adult presence. Everywhere you go, you just see young people, which is really helpful for this kind of year.
It's definitely not always easy. I checked it out and was something I thought I could do and I liked, and I had always worked with kids, so I went for it, and it's been such an amazing ministry. High fives. Well, you get to hear, the parent stories, what they're going through, how they've been so resilient over the past few years, months, weeks, however long their crisis is. And you really get to connect with the kids, and the kids love coming to nursery. It's the one place in their lives where they can feel safe, they can feel welcomed, and they know that they're going to be taken care of there. Stop.
I've seen a lot of growth in her in the past year. I think she's grown in ways that she didn't realize that she would be growing. Everything that she's learned from being with us, I think, will serve her well in whatever role she takes on after leaving the nursery, and I think that she is primed for a lot of success as a social worker.
It's such a blessing, and really gives you a sense of hope.
I've heard that it's the best first job you'll ever have, and it's the hardest, best year of your life.
Doing a year of service is one of the best things you could ever do. I mean, not just for the service aspect, but just, for self-care and getting to know yourself better. It's great, and it's going to be an experience that you never forget.
What I see is an unfolding and a comfort level with the Vincentian charism, with living simply, with reflecting, with allowing yourself to really show the other people that you live with your own vulnerability, to be in that situation, that milieu, for an entire year. It does something to you.
I would say if you're already considering a year of service, take a look at VMC. Even if you're not religious or anything like that, it's going to change the way that you a few people who need help.
The way Vincentian Mission Corps allows you to have that kind of support and that kind of comfort too, being here, has made me able to grow. Like when you're home, you're comfortable, and that's kind of what VMC feels like. It just kind of feels like you're at home, and you get to share that with others.